Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my 2023 reading stats. Finally, I hope you still care. I always forget I need to prepare to show you things and insert things, so I'm just gonna, slightly scoot over here. These aren't the most intense stats I have ever collected. It's my pretty basic set of stats here, and then at the end I'm gonna discuss some of the goals I set last year and how I did on those. I'm only comparing to 2022. That is the first year that I tracked stats kind of the same way that I do now. So I'm hoping going forward, I'll have more and more years to compare to. But I was a heavy reader before 2022. So firstly, my total books read in 2023 was 136, which was up from 2022, which was 124 books. My pages in 2023 were also up. I read 31,068 pages. In 22 that was 27,006 pages, so I was up about 3,000 pages. I'm very happy with my hours read stat because I read 451 hours in 2023, and in 2022 that was only 381. I have, just as a reader, been trying to focus more on those hours invested versus like number of books. So I like that stat. I like that I dedicated more hours. And I think this next one is the only stat that is actually down. My reading speed in 2023 was down about 2 pages an hour, and I do think this is because I was allowing myself to spend the time on my chunkier, more dense books like fantasy, historical fiction, stuff like that, stuff that doesn't quite read as fast as like my little romances or like a mystery. So I don't see this being down as a failure. I see this as like me really taking the time to focus on more dense things. And then also my audiobook hours. I am not an audiobook lover, so I am by no means never really trying to be reading more audiobooks. I would prefer if I was only reading like nonfiction audiobooks. What happens is a lot of times when I want to finish something and I don't have time for like a book club or a readathon prompt, I will often turn on audiobooks for that. So it's not like I'm reading my favorite books on audio other than nonfiction. I do really enjoy nonfiction on audio. So I was down on my audiobook hours in 2023, but I'm happy with that. Now for the format I was reading in, I did read 74 physical books, 27 ebooks, 24 audiobooks, and 11 ARCs. I'm okay with that breakdown as I am trying to read through my own books. I do imagine if I actually get through my physical TBR that my physical reading will drop and my ebook reading will increase. We'll see if that happens in 2024, if I get to that mark or not. Then for where I got these books from, 75 of them I did own. 15 I acquired, which means that I bought them very close to when I read them. 26 were from the library. 11 were ARCs. 2 were from Libro. This is now where I'm sourcing my audiobooks that I pay for. 3 were KU. I got KU for only 1 month, Kindle Unlimited. And 1 from Scribd. It's not called Scribd anymore, it's called Everand, but I did this very early in the year when it was still called Scribd, so that's how it's tracked on the spreadsheet. My genre breakdown for 2023, I'm actually very happy with how this looks. I had 37 romances, 33 adventure, 17 mysteries, 16 fantasies, 13 nonfiction, 7 contemporary, 5 historical, 4 sci-fi, and 3 horror. I wanted to start this video, but this is what just reminded me, by saying that I track my Magic Tree House kind of strange. Some of them I included in my stats and some of them I don't. I include them in like the year it was published, amount of books I read, but I don't include it in any of my like, I don't track the author or like diversity stats, if that makes sense. I actually have chosen in 2024 to completely not track Magic Tree House on my spreadsheet anymore, but for 2023 they were there. There was 33 of them, and that is why in this next graph you're gonna see there's a lot of children's books tracked here. So in 2023 I had 85 adult books, 37 children's, 10 YA, and 2 each of new adult and middle grade. that doesn't surprise me at all. I think if I was only reading books that I was like choosing and acquiring recently, I would be at like 95% adult. But I am trying to get through some stuff that I've owned for a while, and I am reading that Magic Tree House series, so that's why that looks that way. Next, for when these books were published, I had 37 that were published before 2010, 27 that were 2010 to 2019, 55 in that recent backlist category of 2020 to 2022, and then 17 2023 releases. My star ratings. How much did I like the books I read in 2023? I had 7 DNFs. I had 4 1-stars, which is actually way better than I have had in other years. I had 36 2-stars. I am a 2-star girly. 33 3-stars, 44 4-stars, and only 14 5-stars. I do kind of hold my 5 stars in high regard. This makes my average rating for the year a 3.5. And so now I just quickly want to go through some of the kind of numbers goals that I had set for 2023. I went back and watched that goals video, so I do want to just tell you how I did. I had set a goal to read for at least an hour a day in 2023, and when I said this in my goals video, I said like I just want to be consistently reading more and kind of breaking the habit of like not reading all week and then binging a whole book in a day. And I did pretty good with this challenge of reading an hour a day. I had like my slumps through the year, but for the most part, I was really trying to read for an hour a day. And I will not be doing that again. I actually don't think that it fits my reading well. I think that I like to not read all week and then binge a book in a day. So I'm scrapping that goal for 2024, and we'll see how my like hours per day goes as I scrap this. I'm hoping, my thing is I was pushing myself to get that hour, so I do think it boosted my total hours for the year. So we'll see if scrapping this goal really makes it so I don't hardly read as many hours this year, but I would also be okay with that. Then I had some channel goals, and this first one hurt me when I just went to count how many I actually did. I had set a goal to post 60 videos in 2023, and I got really close. I posted 58 videos, so had I counted that like in December, I probably would have quick tried to reach that 60 goal, but I wasn't paying attention to it until after the year was finished. So I got so close on that. Again, I'm very happy with that. I think I was fairly consistent on my channel in 2023, and I would like to bring that in to 2024. I'm off to a pretty good start. My other channel goals were to consistently be having 500 watch hours in the 365-day time period. That's always how I look at my stats. That's really the only stat I look at. I'm trying to increase those watch hours because I think that says a lot about how engaged my viewers are and also my channel growth, not looking at subscribers and not looking at view count, how much time people are actually willing to spend with me. And I think that also just plays into being consistent on my channel to view the stat as the 365-day rather than like month to month. But I did hit that goal. And then my other goal was to be improving my thumbnails. I think I still struggled with it throughout the year, but I think recently, really, I do think that my thumbnails are getting a little bit better. I've been trying to put more effort towards them. So I'm going to count that as a win. You know, we're still trying to improve around here, but we've been trying. And then the other goals I wanted to discuss were stats-based. So let's get into it. The goals that I spoke out loud for some reason at the beginning of 2023. I wanted to read 10% rereads, while also setting the goal that I wanted to be getting through my physical TBR. Like I wanted to be finishing books and I wanted to reread. You can't do it all, Bailey. So I wanted 10% rereads. I read 3.8% rereads. In my ideal world, I would be reading that 10% rereads, but I have a goal in mind. So I'm not setting that goal again in 2024. We'll circle back to that when this physical TBR situation is taken care of. I wanted less than 20% audiobooks. Again, like I said, I'm not an audiobook person, so I don't want to see that number too high. That generally means I'm reading books that I don't actually really want to read. And so that was at 17.6%. So I hit that goal. I did not overread audiobooks. Again, this goal kind of contradicted my reading through my physical TBR goal. And I wanted to read 15% 2023 releases. And I got 12.5%, which is pretty close to that, and I'm pretty happy with that considering, but that does not help me get through my physical TBR. I wanted 10% nonfiction. I got to 9.6%, very close. I wanted 13% fantasy. I got to 11.8%. I wanted to read at least 30% queer books. I got 32%, so I hit that. I wanted to read at least 20% authors of color. I got 25.2%, so I'm happy with that. This one I did really good on. This next one, I wanted to read less than 80% US authors, and I only read 68.6% US authors. Whoops, I wanted 75% owned books, and I was only at 56%. So that's the only goal that I would say I want to say again this year. That's not the way I set my goals this year. My goals video has already been out, but I want to get through my owned books so bad. So only 56% was not the best. And then I had set a few series goals. I wanted to finish 9 series. I only finished 6. I wanted to start less than 20 series. I started 22. I wanted to read more than 40 sequels, and I did say that this was with Magic Tree House in mind. So I wanted to read 40 sequels. I did read 50. Again, 33 of those were Magic Tree House. And those were my goals and my stats and how I did. I overall do not think it was bad. I had a great reading year in 2023. I do think that I am working towards reading how I want to be reading, so that's always what matters. I'll be back at the end of Q1 of 2024 to let you know my Q1 stats and see if I'm doing the things I want to be doing. It's gonna be hard because Q1 is Squash That series, so that it will affect my reading a lot. But then like February and March, I should be a focused girly. Hold me to it. All right, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.